Which opportunities do you see within digital advertising?
It's a very broad question, and I appreciate that. For me, digital advertising is really a field where you constantly have to devote some time following up on the market trends, whatever is happening with regard to new vehicles, new advertising opportunities. I have chosen primarily to focus on some traditional social media and some traditional industry websites. With regard to the social media, I have a dedicated YouTube channel because video content, as we all know, is really skyrocketing currently. And that also includes the agricultural industry. A lot of farmers have high-end equipment run with smartphones and iPads. So everything that we are able to show, coming back to the old advertising saying, don't tell it, show it. So the whole video scene is high priority for me. So a YouTube channel is important for search engine optimization purposes because, as we all know, YouTube is owned by Google. So whatever we upload on YouTube will achieve a higher search rank. So that is a traffic generator. In addition to that, I created a Twitter account in the United States, which I hoped that my US colleagues would devote some time on maintaining, because Twitter is really, really big in the United States. And that hasn't happened yet, so that's on the to-do list. So those are two social media that I use as traffic generators to the website and also as awareness builders. In addition to that, I spend a lot of time advertising on LinkedIn.
So you mentioned for me YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Yes.
So that would be the media.
That would be primary, yeah. In addition to that, I do traditional banner advertising on industry websites. So that could be websites like allaboutfeed.net or worldpoultry.com and stuff like that. So those would be industry websites devoted either to poultry production, swine production, or dairy farming.
Talking about YouTube and Twitter, you mentioned that you use them to generate traffic. How does it go with generating traffic from YouTube and Twitter?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really paid that much attention to it lately. So the traffic, especially from YouTube, is okay. The traffic from Twitter is not as I expected it to be. But that's due to, if you don't maintain these channels and these platforms with good content, you don't get the amount of followers that you would hope for. So it's a lot of hard work. Everybody, if somebody tells you that social media is the quick fix to every marketing challenge, they are dead wrong, because it takes a lot of time, dedication to good content, and promoting these channels also. So it doesn't happen overnight, and these channels have only existed for 1.5 years now. I wanted to have a dedicated LinkedIn page as well, but Chris Hansen has already a dedicated LinkedIn page for the corporate community, so I was not able to get that, unfortunately. So I will devote my time primarily on YouTube and Twitter.
So you mentioned that it takes a lot of work into creating good content to be successful on,
yes,
for instance, YouTube and Twitter. Do you have any examples where you've been successful in creating good content?
Yes. I have spent quite a lot of time developing some ROI calculators. This is a bit technical, but the way that our products works is that we build this business case for the farmers saying, look, if you use our products, you will achieve a formidable return on investment in just a year or so. And in order to persuade all the customers that this is really the case, I have built some ROI calculators on our website, and I have those in 5 languages now. So the way it works is that the farmers can go onto our website and they can key in their production metrics, the number of, for instance, swine they have, the feed budget, the feed costs, stuff like that. And then once they press calculate, they can see the detailed payback of our products. And so that's the type of interactive content that I try to lead all our prospects into, because with that kind of content, all the prospects can really see what's in it for them. And when I subsequently analyze the amount of time spent on these calculators, I can see that it's 2, 3, and now sometimes 4 times higher than on the website, on the rest of the pages, because it's something that you can engage in. It's engaging content.
You also mentioned a cartoon to me early on today.
Yeah. Yes. Well, when I joined this company 2 years ago now, I learned that there were no real videos about the sort of the core technology of the Animal Health and Nutrition division. And since the marketing budget was on the modest side as well, I wanted to create something with a viral qualities, of course. I wanted to make a small cartoon that promoted the features and benefits of our bacteria, our good bacteria, our probiotics. So I created a story with 2 superheroes with capes and everything, one with a big S, another one with a big L. And these 2 superheroes, they travel into the intestinal tract of the pig and do good inside the pig. And they fight bad organisms. And the cartoon has been translated into 4 languages now, and has achieved quite astonishing play rates. So it's become the 2nd most popular video ever in Chris Hansen in 1.5 years. But it's something that splits the audience, because some people love it and other people, they hate it. And also internally, I can, a lot of my colleagues, they really like it and think it's fun and awareness building, whereas primarily some of my North American colleagues, they don't think it really adds any sort of quality to our promotional efforts. So it's something that has to be used with caution, because you cannot please all. But it's been fun to do, and it has helped generate our awareness quite a lot, especially in Asia, where the Asian customers, they view this cartoon quite a lot.
What was it that made the viral video about the superheroes traveling into the pig? What made it successful?
Well, I guess you really have to see it. I still believe it's fun. Although I wrote the story, I have to attribute the credit for the actual execution of the fun part to a really good web agency who created it for me. And I think they did a great job and made some really good and fun scenes in this cartoon. So you will have to see it. It's on our website, video.chrishansen.com.
So do you expect to be doing more of this kind of viral content in the future?
Well, not necessarily viral. I'm actually organizing a conference in Atlanta on this Monday in 3 days. And that conference will be video filmed, so that I will use, that is the opposite extreme, because it's a very serious scientific conference, which we are video filming, and I will want to turn that into a half-hour movie. And I will promote that on the Twitter and YouTube accounts also, so that the vets, they can sit down and hopefully enjoy some quite serious presentations.
Okay.
So
yeah, because it's always a choice between where you have to spend your resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what share of your marketing budget is actually dedicated to digital advertising?
I have to be honest with you, I haven't really calculated it precisely, but I would say roughly one half, and I would like to increase it to 2/3. Now the problem is that in this agricultural industry, it's quite conservative. It's been around for many hundred years. So the industry websites, which do offer us advertising possibilities, they are really stuck in the 80s as to product innovation. It's a bold claim, but they haven't really been that innovative. For instance, there are no websites in the industry offering me contextually triggered ads. You could actually, if you take the Google model, you could implement your own version of a contextually triggered ad. So whenever a poultry veterinarian went onto the website and searched for probiotics, for instance, it would trigger my ad in that website, like the Google AdSense program. And they could do that, but nobody has done it. And I have asked them to come up with some new products. So I would like to spend more, but the products have to be there.
So you're kind of waiting for the future to get to the industry websites.
Yes, and in the meantime, I spend way too much money on Google search ads because they do offer me the targeting possibilities. They offer me all the opportunities that I need to have to be displayed on both mobile devices and fixed PCs and stuff like that. So I spend more on Google search ads than is the ideal allocation.
Simply because you have some...
I have no alternative for the moment.
Simply forced to use the
Yeah.
Google AdWords. But why would you like to increase the budget to 2/3?
Well, just come back to the previous point about showing the value creation of marketing inside an organization. If you're able to do more digital advertising, then you are able to show, because I tag everything. So whenever I deliver just the tiniest small gift banner, I log on to the URL builder and I make sure that it's tagged correctly. So I can see precisely how many clicks I get from a specific banner on a specific website a specific month. And that allows me to be able to present a more convincing business case internally in the organization. Probably have to remember that Hansen is a company that has done extremely well since 1874 without a heavy marketing budget. It has been a company that has had few large important clients, and that is still the case for all the divisions except our division. We face several hundred thousands of farmers and veterinarians and feed mills, so we need to invest more in marketing to get our message out there. So digital advertising is much more measurable, and so for me it's much easier to build the case for marketing per se.
So very easy to see what you actually
Yes.
get out of your money.
Yes.
Excellent. You mentioned gift banners before. Can you elaborate a little bit about what types of advertising you're using?
Yeah, well, animated gift banners is really an old-fashioned technology, but that's the type of advertising that they offer, these third-party industry websites. There is one exception to that, which has nothing to do with the agricultural industry, and that is a type of advertising that I've really enjoyed. That's the response ads you can buy on LinkedIn. And the way I see it, the response ads on LinkedIn is really the best of both worlds, because I can target those to specific group members and even to people working in specific companies. And I can target those to people having a certain degree of education. I can target to the country. So there's a lot of targeting opportunities that you have in the Google search ad universe, which is also available on LinkedIn. But in addition to that, whenever people click on one of my ads on LinkedIn, they're taken, of course, to my landing page. But before they do that, they can accept being contacted by us. And a lot of people do that. So once they have visited our website and have agreed to being contacted, I then get an email with the full profile of that particular prospect, which I can then forward to a sales rep.
That sounds extremely efficient.
It is quite, it's a really beautiful product because it really combines the best of both worlds. And since LinkedIn already has the full profile information of that prospect, we know exactly the location of the prospect, the educational background, the former work story, history, the email, and even the phone number. So it's a very rewarding piece of information to pass on to the sales staff.
But just one question here: are farmers really on LinkedIn?
No, but no, they're not. Well, some are. You have to think of farmers, for instance, in the United States, as people running a $25 million business. They have maybe, for instance, dairy farmers. They have 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 cows, whereas in this country, in Denmark, they have 100 cows. And also poultry producers. Are they farmers or producers? Maybe they produce 20 million chicken a year. So these are businessmen. These are men with college degrees and with staffs, with employed veterinarians. So they don't mind being called a farmer, but you have to you probably have to modify your view of a farmer these days. They drive tractors which cost more than your house. So that is, and they are on LinkedIn. Some of them, yeah.
And how about SEM then?
Yeah, well, I use that quite a lot, especially in the United States. To give you a good example, there was a severe drought last year in the United States where all the cornfields dried out, and corn is an extremely valuable crop both for animal production and also for humans. And with our silage inoculants, we were able to save some of the nutritional value of this corn. And so I targeted Google search ads to specific states in the United States, to Texas, Nevada, California, and I could even target those to specific counties. And so whenever people, desperate farmers in those areas, whenever they went onto Google to search for a solution, because they were in really difficulties, they would typically write how to salvage corn, and I would then have a one-piece guide to corn salvation with our silage inoculants. And that generated quite a few hits, because it's coming back to the old dream of every marketing person. You want to be able to present your solution when people are really in desperate need for a solution. And that is the main advantage of Google search ads.
So it generated some hits, the way I understood you, it generated some traffic. Did it also generate some sales?
It did. Well, that's a good question, because that would require me to go back to the sales guys and then ask them, look guys, the 25 leads I gave you last year, did you actually conclude a sale with those? And to be honest, I haven't asked them. But you're right, to complete the circle, to complete the return on marketing circle, you should go all the way back and then check if a sale was actually carried through.